Good day. My name is Javier and I will be presenting my proposed design for Subiaco SSC Archives and Museum. Let us begin with the project brief. A school archives and museum is a space within a school or educational institution that collects, preserves, and exhibits artifacts, documents, and other materials relating to the institution's history and educational heritage. It is a repository for the institution's history, highlighting its evolution, accomplishments, and educational contributions. At SSC Manila, a group of interior designers were tasked with proposing a design aimed at enhancing the aesthetic appeal of the Subiaco SSC Archives and Museum. The Subiaco SSC Archives and Museum serves a crucial role in preserving the institutional memory. They provide a tangible connection to the past, instilling a sense of identity and pride in students, alumni, and staff. It is essential when redesigning the Subiaco SSC Archives and Museum to prioritize an inviting entrance that attracts visitors into the space, while taking into account the flow of visitors and arranging exhibits in a logical order that tells a story or highlights important aspects of the school's history, including exhibits and activities that encourage hands-on learning and engage visitors, and taking into account appropriate lighting to emphasize exhibits and a color that creates a welcoming ambience. Now let us move on with the design problem. Regarding the interior design of the Subiaco SSC Archives and Museum, there are a few factors to be considered. First is the primary concern when designing the interior of a school archives and museum is ensuring the artifacts and documents on display are preserved. To safeguard the items from being damaged, it is necessary to consider factors such as lighting, temperature, humidity, and security. Second, the design should prioritize accessibility to ensure that all visitors, regardless of physical ability, can navigate the space and interact with the exhibits without difficulty. Design decisions must be accessible to individuals with disabilities and compliant with accessibility standards. Third is, the design should incorporate safety considerations such as fire safety, emergency exits, and crowd control. Fourth is, design the layout and displays to facilitate movement, prevent congestion, and maximize the display of artifacts without overwhelming the space, considering flexible layouts that can accommodate temporary displays or configuration changes as required. Lastly is, a common concern is balancing design ambitions with budget constraints. Consider innovative ways to accomplish the desired results within the available budget, while giving priority to essential design elements. By resolving these issues during the interior design phase, the school archives and museum will be able to provide a safe, accessible, and engaging environment for visitors while protecting the historical artifacts and documents on display. Here we have our design objectives. Changing lighting fixtures to spotlights and adding ceiling embellishments. Adding walls to the museum's design to maximize space without creating seclusion. Altering the wall paint to a darker hue to complement the school's color scheme. Increasing the number of wall displays to maximize wall space. Including interactive spaces, particularly in the music section. And lastly, providing comfortable spaces and ambience. Now let us move on to the drawing documents. As-built plan. Here we have an area for St. Scholastica's College display. Next, an area for the College of Music. Moving on is the floor plan and furniture layout. As you enter, you are greeted by the logo of SSC Manila and the vision and mission statement of St. Scholastica's College. The SSC area exhibits the large-scale model of the campus. This exhibit provides the evolving educational environment and its impact on the school community. This area also features the SSC Priory, yearbook, and awards displayed on a glass shelves, exhibiting the SSC uniforms that was used since it was established, and display frames that show the SSC history. Moving into the second exhibit hall, the College of Music. Here, you delve into the early history of the School of Music, starting with its founding and the vision mission behind its establishment. Display cases showcase musical documents and instruments that were used by past alumni. Exhibiting a petite grand piano, this area shows the story of the School of Music's humble beginnings and its growth over the years. Next, we make our way to another area of School of Music where other instruments are being showcased. This area also provides interactive musical instruments that can be played and tried by any guest. Next, we make our way to the Hall of Achievements. This area highlights the accomplishments of the school's alumni and faculty members, displays storage and interactive musical instruments and pictures of notable individuals who have contributed significantly to the music course. Memorabilia, awards, and personal items related to these achievers are displayed, creating a sense of pride and inspiration. Reflected ceiling plan. Recessed downlight and white LED track light are the lighting fixtures used. Budget is one of the design objectives of the proposal, so the ceiling design is simple. The ceiling is a gypsum board with a semi-matte white acrylic latex finish. In addition, a gypsum board ceiling with a faux wood texture and an LED light. Moving on to the elevations A, B, C, and D. Flooring pattern. The flooring for the Subiaco consists of herringbone parquet and a dried clay Cabana Life carpet. Power and switch layout. For the layout of the power and switch, we added lots of outlets, ceiling-mounted audio speakers, ceiling-mounted data outlets, wall-mounted telephone outlets, fire alarm buttons, fire alarm systems, smoke detectors, sprinkler systems, air conditioning system control, 360 degrees CCTV, and emergency exit sign. For the layout of the switch, we have color-coded on the plan which area will be lit up for the specific switch. Yellow is for the track light switch at the SSC area and green for the music area. Blue for the recessed downlight switch at the SSC area. Purple for the decorative LED light at the SSC area, and red for the music area. We also provided 2 air conditioning system control, one for SSC area and one for the music area. Construction built-in. The construction built-in of the display cases that were seen on the floor plan are all the same material and thickness of shelves. What differs is the shape. Loose furniture schedule. Here we have a list of the loose furniture schedule. First is a floating landscape, mannequins, opaque stations, circular display for trophies, block display for interactive musical instruments, and the petite grand piano. Subiaco SSC Archives and Museum is a place that serves as a repository of artifacts, documents, and educational materials related to St. Scholastica's College. It preserves the history and heritage of the school and showcases its achievements, milestones, and significant events. The concept of Hiraya emphasizes the power of the mind to create visions and dreams, and it is often associated with hope, aspirations, and the pursuit of one's goals or desires. In Filipino culture, Hiraya is sometimes used in poetry, literature, and art to evoke a sense of longing, possibility, and the beauty of the imagined. A contemporary style that emphasizes clean lines, minimalism, and a balance between form and function. The design is associated with a sleek and sophisticated aesthetic that creates a fresh and uncluttered look. A color palette featuring midnight blue and brown can create a sophisticated and refined atmosphere. The combination of midnight blue and brown can create a soothing and inviting environment, contribute to improved focus and concentration among students. Mood board. Here we have the mood board for the Subiaco SSC Archives and Museum. You will see the 2 floor finishes, the 3 materials used, which is plywood, gypsum board, and the safety glass. Next, we have the list of paints that will be used: azure blue, caramel brown, pearlescent paint for the frames, and a flat white paint. And that is it for my proposed design presentation for the Subiaco SSC Archives and Museum. Once again, I am Andrea Javier, and thank you for listening.